No fine print at 55 miles per hour. Recognizing Crosshatch where you see it. Written by Taylor Reed. Breezy day, somewhat overcast, and the fall chill is just beginning to make itself known. I'm on the road, purposeful travels, when, wait, there's something ahead, just beyond the shoulder. It's a trailer, vehicle, or a pine outbuilding. What exactly? Doesn't matter. It's something that might be of interest to me, and I see little orange letters on a sign taped to it, just above the ubiquitous scribbles. They're supposed to say something, but as I zoom past, they aren't legible, regardless of speed. Boo. The only thing they effectively communicate is that I need to stop, pull over, backtrack, or some other form of inconveniencing myself. One of those before I can determine whether or not stopping was worth the inconvenience. Well, I'm not going to stop. Before I pull over, there needs to be some indication that it's worth the inconvenience. Attempting to ascertain whether a secondhand item might be a deal or not when there's no clear price or information is working with half of what's needed. It's like depth perception askew. With only one frame of reference, I'm a bit lost. Before I'm driven away in curmudgeonly instincts, I'll tease out a connection. The reason I bring the sham of fine print on roadside for sale signs up in the first place. Sometimes the reason I'm on the road, moving quickly and purposefully, is for Crosshatch's work. I'm trying to tell the stories that make sense from different angles of what Crosshatch is, stands for, and makes happen. But the truth is, Crosshatch has some fine print that can be tricky to make out. That means our work is nuanced and resists one-sided paradigms and blunt oversimplification. But it also means that it might seem tricky to understand and even more difficult to encapsulate succinctly. Maybe you've noticed invitations from this organization, invitations to show up or dig in, help out, or respond in some way, but the whole thing isn't quite clear enough to run with. Maybe it's not totally clear whether it's worth your time, or if you might even be part of the intended audience of the communication you're coming across. That's a problem. First, you're part of the intended audience if you're reading this. Even if you weren't reading it, you still would be. Everybody's in. One of the most beautiful and troubling aspects of community is that everyone is brought on board. If everyone has a place, things necessarily get worked out. Maybe not easily or smoothly, but no matter what, there's encounter, and that matters. Secondly, I'd like to draw your attention to 10 strategies from the Crosshatch in a Nutshell pamphlet. Suppose the Crosshatch intersection is art, ecology, farming, and economy, which it is. In that case, the following pieces are the lived-out, actionable results of engaging that intersection, all in service of building resilient rural communities. They date back to the Institute for Sustainable Living, Art, and Natural Design, or ISLAND, days. For more than a decade, these 10 signposts have pointed towards the purpose of Crosshatch's work. If one catches your eye, you can check out the document above for a finer view of what it might entail. For now, I'm most interested in hashing out a bold and clear outline of Crosshatch's methodology. 1. Think agrarian. 2. Build a local economy. 3. Love great art. 4. Endlessly learn. 5. Eat as an agricultural act. 6. Cultivate relationships. 7. Keep energy local. 8. Think and act bioregionally. 9. Engage your community. 10. Build self-reliance. You might not sincerely care about or understand the relevance of all 10, and that's fine. Maybe there's one in particular that seems to spark life. If that's the case, it's a clue, a thread leading directly into Crosshatch's weave. There's a temptation here. Don't view the list as fodder for comparison or judgment, whether leveled at yourself or others. Each strategy is an invitation, and like any good invitation, they invite unique expressions from all who respond positively. My own circumstances shape my understanding of what each means. For example, my introversion, the context of our young family, or the currents that shape the little town we live outside. There's also flexibility regarding scale. What could this strategy look like if considered as an individual? How about as a household? A neighborhood? A locale? A workplace? Which sphere or spheres are we talking about? They all matter. Naturally, as I read through the list, others' exemplary work comes to mind. I think of Beth Ann and James Manning and their ongoing experiments with eating seasonally and locally. I think of secondhand sales and resource exchange networks here in Antrim County. I think of the efforts that went into Grass River Natural Areas formation, efforts that continue to support its role as a hub for education, retreat, and watershed integration. I think of numerous folks and institutions here who have requested help or offered help, and in doing so have laid the foundations for purposeful relationships and engagement. I think of our neighbors and their care. All of these are inspirations. I've got room to grow. We all do. These are the working grounds where you can encounter Crosshatch, facilitating, supporting, doing whatever it can in scrappy ways to help nurture these things. I write a lot in support of that work, but written words have limits. At best, they legibly point to something. Until the dust of construction and placemaking at Hatch Quarters has begun and settled, I'll keep depending on them to clarify Crosshatch's values and aims. There is something here worth stopping for.